Okay.
You guys are live on this one.
Sorry about that.
Whoever's gonna put it on their open their Facebook, it's already on Facebook.
Oh, okay, good. So now I can share it from here.
Yeah, put it on that one and share it.
Put it on. So go on the social. Go to Facebook. Okay, so now I can. Okay, so now I'm sharing. And then I can comment right from there. So good. Beautiful.
You already got viewers on.
Oh yeah, I actually have a couple people that I've texted. I got the sofa. You saw them. All estamos viendo el show esta tarde.
Don't get confused when you're here, because when you're here, what you're gonna see is what people are seeing, and there's like a probably 30 seconds lag between one and the other. But when people are seeing it, you already said it, but they're gonna listen to it about 15 seconds later. So you'll see it a little backed up here. So you might see Jesse here and you're talking. Don't let that confuse you. Once it gets to them, okay. Once it gets to them, that's what they're gonna see it. Jesse, you're already 3 minutes into the show, Papa.
Oh really?
Yep. Well, this is what they're seeing,
Okay, okay.
but you're already 3 minutes in. He's like, people are watching me do this.
Ay, Dios mío.
Ay. Loquito loco.
¿Sabes que eso es algo de siempre, no sé por qué? Ahora.
You guys are good with the sound? Jesse, microphones are up.
Bueno. Buenas tardes. Aquí con nosotros el grupo que está cogiendo, como dice, está corriendo con la goma de Michelin aquí en la ciudad de Allentown. El show de todas las semanas viene Raíces con Sazón con su servidor Jesse Roldán, el licenciado Jesse Roldán, y con nuestra co-auspiciadora del show.
Hola, hola.
La cara linda de este show. Siempre hay que tener un feo y una linda, un gordo y una flaca, pero con mejor sazón. Y tenemos aquí al hombre que va a aprender el español ya mismo, el creditator. Mr. Neil's here again for part 2. We're going to talk about credit repair, identity theft, identity shield. We're going to talk about the blessing that has happened in the industry, which is Legal Shield has now finally heard our cry. We now have Legal Shield en español. Tenemos la protección para la gente que quieren cuidar su historial de crédito, su historial de ¿cómo se dice? De su crédito legalmente, ahora en español. Tengo el coat que me arreglaron aquí en el edificio porque tenía un poquito de frío, me lo arreglaron, pero estoy ya ready para el invierno. No sé si voy a traer la nieve ahora que tengo un coat de nieve. Gracias a los audientes, las 2 o 3 semanas que no estuve aquí, los otros, ¿cómo se dice? Cast members, los otros auspiciadores, ¿verdad? No, los otros, ¿cómo se dice cast members? Miguel, tú sabes todo.
Los otros miembros del equipo.
Los otros miembros del equipo hicieron un tremendo trabajo. Yadira, yo creo que tú vas a quedar con este show.
I think so too,
I think
Jesse.
so. Ay,
We
Dios
had a lot
mío.
of fun last
No, yo sé. Yo dije, si yo no traigo a Yadira para que vean por lo menos mi cara con la de ella, van a decir este show de Yadira. Entonces yo me quedo sin nada. Yo dije, no, yo tengo que traer la cara fea mía para que la gente sepa que estamos aquí. So, este show va a ser otra vez en Spanglish. Estamos vivos en YouTube, estamos vivos, ya mismo están vivos en todos lados, en Instagram, en Twitter, donde sea. Primeramente, mi corazón duele porque nuestro alcalde pasó algo y quiero dar que yo como republicano, como cristiano, fui amigo personalmente de Ed Polaski, lo quiero mucho, le deseo lo mejor, estamos orando por él y por su familia. Siempre he dicho que este show no es para mí, este show es para nuestra gente y hay que decir las cosas como son. El hombre no era malo, cometió sus errores como cualquier otro ser humano y los que están sufriendo es su familia, la gente que han hecho muchas cosas para la comunidad y yo personalmente me da pena lo que le ha sucedido, no creo que fue justicia y en sí estamos orando por el alcalde de este pueblo y aunque fuera mal a los audientes que no usen el tiempo para bochinchar, usen el tiempo para orar por él, por su familia y que sepan que todo el mundo comete errores. Todo el mundo, menos Miguel. Miguel no comete errores. Entonces eso es algo que tenemos que tener pendiente. Hay un dicho que dice, el día hoy es tuyo, pero el mío será mañana. Y todo el mundo tenemos nuestro día de pagar por nuestros errores. Yo siempre empiezo mi show con una frase y la frase de hoy es: lo paradójico de la sociedad es que te sanciona si no tienes identificación y te agradece que no tengas y te agradeces que no tengas identidad. Otra cosa es, antes que se me olvide, ya mismo viene el tiempo de votar. Usen su derecho de votar. Si ustedes no votan, no sé qué, a quién viene aquí a estar dándole a ustedes. En noviembre 6, gracias. Yo te dije, pero no es el 16, yo sabía que estaba el 6. Le vamos a mandar a votar más tarde. Ahí se fastidió todo. O sea, anyway, so here we are with Neil. Today we're going to do part 2. I wanted him back up here. We're going to go back and forth, Spanglish, English. Once again, thank you, Yadira. You're amazing. You're amazing. And we're going to talk about something that is what I would call the biggest crime in America. Funny enough, you ready for this? I got a fresh one, a little story. You know our wonderful team leader, broker, Ty. I get an email today that says, hey, are you in the office? And he says, Ty, at the top. I'm not going to say the last name, but it says Ty. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, why is he asking me if I'm in the office? Funny enough, I call him, and I say, are you looking for me? Then I'm thinking, did I get in trouble? Did I screw up again?
Right.
So all of a sudden, he says, I didn't call you. I said, well, you sent me an email. I said, he goes, no, I didn't. When I opened up the email, guess what happened? It was Thai boom 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 at boomboomboom.lv. Not KW, nada más, era at something else. So I said, oh, I want to play along with this. I like sneaky people. So I'm like, I'm going to play
You
along.
like getting into trouble.
Yeah, I like that.
I would have avoided it.
No. I'm like, I'm gonna find out. It's an ex-cop in me. So I'm like, yeah, how are you? What can I do for you? He's like, oh my God. He said, can you do me a huge favor? I'm like, sure. So I'm sending part 2 to Ty. I'm like, Ty, this is what's happening. So he posted it on the board, on the Facebook board. And I'm like, so what can I do for you? And then basically, and I have the email, we can actually go over it. So it says, can you do me a favor? I need to send somebody some gift cards. And I don't have the money right now. I'm out of the area. I'll give you the money tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, oh, I like this scam. This is sneaky. This is really sneaky. So then it's like, okay, not a problem. Anything for you. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like sending this stuff to Tom. Like, this is awesome. I want to see what this leads to. So then it's like, can you pick up 6 iTunes gift cards? I'm like, who though gives iTunes gift cards on a closing? But I'm like, whatever. You know, I'm gonna go along with this. So it's like, can you pick up them? Can you then scratch the back, take a picture, and send them to this client? No, to this client. And I'm like, if you buy 6 gift cards, you need to give me 6 clients. Like, God, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be a scammer, at least be that good of a scammer, okay? So they want me to take 6 pictures. So after I leave here, I'm gonna stop at the Apple Store, tell them what the scam is, and say, can I please have 6 blank gift cards? And I'm gonna scratch them, and I want to see them trying to use them because they're gonna be empty. Or I'll put 10 cents on each one of them. That would be awesome. You know,
It's
like something.
amazing how creative
Yeah.
you get nowadays.
Yeah, so I sent him the part 2, part 3. I'm like, this is great. So the guy hasn't answered me back. I'm like, you know what? So I'm sure he's gonna ask me why I haven't sent it. So it
If
was,
it gets back to you at all.
this is like the universe participating in today's show because this literally just happened today. I'm like, this is so cool. I got a fresh story of identity theft right on the money of what's happening. And again, you know how that works.
Yeah, sure do.
I'll tell you another story. I always love to tell stories. So here I am. I own a company called, I don't know, it was promotional something services, blah, blah, blah in the past. I closed the company. All of a sudden, I get a letter of the demand for time, right? And it's like, you owe us $6,900 and some dollars on packages that you were actually sending. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I called them up. I'm like, listen, you know, we're going to sue you. This is fraud, blah, blah, blah. Thank God at the time I had what was called it was identity theft through Legal Shield, which at the time was called prepaid legal services. And I happened to have that at the time. Thank God I never canceled. I've been a member for like 12 years. And so I called them. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God, Renee, they're going to sue us. And so I called them, and they are the company that represented Kroll. As Kroll Investigations, that's what it was at the time. It was Kroll Investigations. And so they actually said to me, Jesse, all you have to do is go to police, get a police report, post a police report, and give us a power of attorney, and we'll take it from there. And within about 2 weeks, I get a call back from FedEx. They made it go away. They said, no, we understand that you were a victim of identity theft, and that all went away. So I've gone through 3 or 4 times in my life where somebody actually took my identity. Thank God I've always had that product. We're going to talk about that product today, which you can actually either go to getlegalforless.com or you can go in Spanish, miplanlegal.com. So I just registered the new site, so it goes to the same place. When you see my ugly mug there, you see that we sell it with directly with Legal Shield, and we sell that, and you can get that. So here we are. Neil, talk to me about the experience of identity theft. And then you're there. Have you ever experienced identity theft before?
I have not. Thank goodness I have.
And you have credit cards, right?
I do.
Can I have your wallet? I will make you experience. You sure?
Now, but I am curious to know, Neil, what should be our first phone call when we feel that we have been a victim of an attempt of identity theft?
Well, first of all, identity theft crime is #1 growing crime in the United States of America since 2003, according to the FBI statistics. Over 791 million identities were stolen in the U.S. alone.
How many?
791 million.
That's a lot.
143 million Americans faced an increased risk of identity theft after a major Equifax hack.
Yeah, you know what? I
Stole
found some
millions
stuff
of
here
Social
about
Security
the
numbers
Equifax
and
hack up here.
So,
I know I have some information here. So that Equifax hack.
well, depends on what you believe, I guess. A lot of them ended up giving, free credit monitoring, services for so long, and so,
Really?
so that way you can, keep track of your finances and everything like that. But it's amazing on how people, perform at theft. Like, I have statistics here: 1.3 million children's records are stolen every year. Children's records, because they have a clean credit,
But so children. So in essence, you can use a child's credit record to build credit.
Of course.
But if the kid is 7 years old, they don't have an Amex. So how do you do that? I mean,
Social Security number.
Oh, they have a social security number.
Everybody has a social
And so
security
based
number.
on that, you can tweak their date of birth and then go from there
Yep.
and actually start building a profile.
And
Wow.
the scary part is most identity theft complaints, which are 61%, are from those between the ages of 30 and 59. And the people, there's only 13% of consumers who have identity theft actually pursue a police report. 13%.
13%.
13%.
What did the others do?
They never follow through with a police report. Hoping they would
Is
go,
it
it would
because
go
they
away.
don't know what to do,
Yeah.
or just because they're hoping it'll go away?
And here's the statistics here. The FTC and local law enforcement agency
I can put
across
it.
the
I can
US
put it
found
up if you want.
the identity theft represented 13% of more than 3 million complaints recorded in the system.
I love Miguel. He just sent me a picture that we're gonna actually put on the program. It says, "What you mean the lights and cable on my name?"
Aw.
So you gotta put up that picture. That is adorable. That is adorable. You know, that's the funny thing. I've talked to a lot of people, especially our people, and they're like, you know, you're closing, and they're like, well, listen, I have to change the utilities, and then I said, well, you know, my credit's not that good, you know, how the whole struggle, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, what are you guys gonna do? He said, oh, no te preocupes. I got my daughter, I'm gonna put in their name, 17, 16,
Sister, brothers,
Brothers.
parents' name, even without their consent.
even without their consent.
That's correct.
And then, so once it gets into identity theft, then you have the other side where actually it gets into not paying. Listen, I don't mind if anybody uses my credit, but then they build it. That's hilarious. And then they build it. So if I have somebody who goes out there and buys 20 buildings, pays them all on time, and then I have this huge, amazing profile, this is great. But the bottom line is then they don't pay it, and then they end up with
Right,
bad
that's the
credit.
whole point, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then now once they get to bad credit, that's when they have to meet you,
Correct. Well,
the Nazi
it
credit
depends.
killer.
It depends if they seek me.
If they seek you,
That's correct.
oh, they'll try to do it on their own.
Most of the time, believe it or not, people don't try to do anything with it.
So-
They think it's gonna go away.
So
Uh-huh.
and here's,
So-
see, go ahead.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
So what do the other do, apart from the 13%? They know that they've been a victim and they just hope that it goes away?
They hope that it goes away, they don't believe it can happen, they think it's temporary. There's multiple excuses out there on what they believe, but the bottom line is it's not gonna go away.
And listen, you know, there was a time, you know, I own several businesses, including an ATM business, and I remember when the schemers first came out, and they will put schemers. Funny thing is, all of a sudden, I'm sitting with my wife, someplace, I won't say the restaurant. I go home 2-3 days later, I find out that they're trying to buy an Apple computer somewhere in Timbuktu, whatever. Now, I know for a fact they did not take the physical card. So what they actually do is they take the card and they actually put it on another card. They have the ability to actually write that information on a credit card. Now, I know for a fact there was a couple of young men that I know that I actually met in the city that actually got arrested by the feds because they were doing that. They were selling credit cards. And it's very sad because it's one of those big crimes that they think that it's a victimless crime, but it's not. You know, people are trying to buy homes. You know, we have a program here that's about real estate and people trying to buy houses. And the fact of the matter is they don't realize aspects of their lives could be affected by identity theft. And the funny thing is, after we're done with this program, we're going to give a website. We're going to give a Spanish website and an English website where they can go get legal protection. And if they have stuff from their credit, from your website, so they can go in and start. So they're getting ready to close. It's 30 days, and all of a sudden, well, it appears something on their credit because of identity theft, or somebody committed a crime in their name. What's your experience of that?
I haven't run across that too much other than, like you said, somebody getting ready to close on a mortgage or something related to that, and then all of a sudden I did have that out of Downingtown that happened, and score went from 740 down to 580.
580.
And got a hold of me, and I was able to get everything done pretty quickly within, I think it was in with about 6 to 8 weeks, if I remember correctly. And actually put a credit score up a little bit higher, but I haven't had that both at the same time.
So now let's talk about another crime. Somebody goes out there and they use your credit, and even if they don't get the credit, You got all those inquiries, that's gonna affect you.
That is correct.
So even just the hard inquiries are gonna affect you.
Yeah, hard inquiries will affect you anywhere from 1 to 3 points. Of course, if it's most recent, it's gonna affect you.
So if you have somebody, they go out there and the credit card company sees that it's fraud, but they're still gonna allow the inquiry unless you dispute it after the fact.
Correct,
And most people don't know how to do that.
correct.
So then they have to make a decision, do they go out and click on dispute this item on Credit Karma, which does what for them?
Well, here's the thing, let me back up just here a little bit. I think what irritates me more than anything is when you have a spouse, an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, and they use your personal information. I just ran across this yesterday, as a matter of fact, where they know everything about you, especially if they've been with you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You know, so with this particular person that I spoken to yesterday, I asked him, I said, did you apply for this? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, it's right here. You applied. No, I didn't. Well, somebody did. He figured out it was an ex-girlfriend that he lived with for 7 years.
And, you know, I mean, the funny thing about that is, I know of an individual who worked for me in the past, I won't say who it is, but, you know, somehow if that individual is listening, they know who they are. And this is something that was really, really scary. This person said, my ex, let's say boyfriend or girlfriend, I know all of them, social, date of birth, their passwords, their everything, all going back 2, 3 times. I said, that is scary. So 4 years from now, they go in, they set up an account on Credit Karma, set up some kind of an account, look at their soft credit, they see, oh my God, my ex now has credit, it's time to attack. So I know we have a product here that we're gonna talk about later on, but people need to get themselves into a nice credit health. And we're gonna talk about that, the preparation that we have to do before you go and purchase a home. I know you work with a lot of buyers, Yadida, right?
I do.
And talk to me about, you know, the experience that you have working with buyers and how the things that you see as you work with them, as far as their credit, as far as getting prepared to go to closing.
Well, I've never experienced anything like this, not even with my clients, thankfully. If there is someone who needs to work on their credit a little bit, we do refer them to someone who could potentially help them with that. And then work their way to making the dream come true. I have a question for you, Neil. I saw something about Snapchat on your notes there, and I love social media.
You do?
What do you have to
I
say
would
about
have never
that?
guessed.
Well, there's statistics here. It says social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat face 40% higher risk of account takeover and fraud than those not active on social networks.
So it's a catch-22.
Well, you also got to remember that a lot of people that when they're going on to their banking institution,
Mm-hmm.
look at your statements, you know how many people don't close them out.
Right.
All right, so anything you have online that you apply for, and the one thing irritates me more than anything is this. You go online, and let's say you have your spouse's information. You go online, you apply for a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, just stuff. You know all her information.
Everything about it.
You put it in there, and you get approved. Here's the catch. What kind of signature do you put on there? It's an electronic signature,
Electronic
right?
signature.
But it's only use your initials or you spell it out. It's not a handwritten one.
Correct.
Try and prove that when you default on an account, she has to prove that that's not her signature. How do you do it?
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
You can.
Right.
Okay.
That's where you gotta fight the credit bureaus. You gotta do the law. So, and that's why a police report is so important.
Because that.
Just because you file a police report doesn't mean you have to press charges, but you have to make it known
Yeah,
that, hey,
but how do you deal with that when the person that's actually using your credit is your ex-spouse? And she's the
Exactly.
mother of your children, or the father of your children?
and that's the reason why a lot of police reports are not filed.
Okay.
Because, but remember, you can still file them. Doesn't mean you have to end up going through and pressing charges. But you have to have something legitimate in writing stating that it happened. And the only way
And,
you can really
and
do
you know
that
what,
is
this reminds me, we're putting together an event, before I forget, in the next month and a half or so, we're gonna have 50s and 60s, we're also gonna have disco night, we're gonna have a live DJ, and we're gonna have Neil there with us to give a free, you just have to come in with hunger, the desire to dance, the desire to drink. We'll have live our radio station there. so it's gonna be
I
discount.
don't know if I wanna be drinking talking about credit.
But here's the thing, and Yadira, of course you'll
We
be
will
there.
keep you sober.
Yeah, and then we'll get to dress in 70 styles, but here's the thing on 80 styles. But, so come down, I don't know what the price is, gonna be probably about $10, but you'll get food, you get all kinds of stuff, it's gonna be great. And you get to meet us live, and you'll also get to, have somebody look at your credit profile and see how important it is, so we can get you at least on the right track to buying your home. And like I said, you don't have to use us, guys, come out here, get to meet us, have fun with us. We'll do the event, we'll have a lot of fun, we'll get to go dancing, do a little bit of exercise. There's gonna be lots of events, always listen to the show. There'll be a bunch of giveaways, we're gonna give away a couple of vacation area. Lots of stuff that we're gonna do just to get the people to come out and get to meet us. We're also gonna be in the neighborhood this weekend giving lots of candy, and inside of those candy boxes, there's gonna be little with Neil's information. If you want a box of candy with lots of cards in there with great info, let us know, because we're gonna come by. We bought these beautiful cards, they have my ugly picture in front of it so you get to see it. And then that usually makes you depressed, which means it makes you the candy, which means, you know, that you have a reason to do
One
it.
thing, Jesse, I mean, we wanna stress this here, this is not for, money making, this is for informational
Correct.
purposes, to
Yeah.
educate you, which
Correct.
is where we already know that the United States, the government, whatever you wanna, however you wanna term it, doesn't want you educated on these types of
And, you know,
issues and
and
problems,
once again,
because
what's the
they make
name,
more
what's the
money.
name of your website?
Website's Educate and Restore Credit.
Educate, it doesn't say make money by charging you for your credit, it says educate and restore. Yes, he has to make a living, but let me tell you something about this man. In the short time that I know him, I've been in this industry over 15 years in the credit repair industry, because I own the franchise with American Credit Association. And this is one of the best individuals I've met in my life that educates people. Listen, take advantage of it. This is why this show is here. The show is here to educate you. Vamos a hablar español un poquito para que la gente no se sienta mal. Este show está aquí para que ustedes, nuestra gente, se eduquen. Estamos hablando hoy de los casos de robo de identidad. Tenemos aquí ciertos documentos que vamos a hablar ya mismo en español, para que la gente entienda que hay diferentes formas de usted perder su identidad. Nosotros tenemos ¿cómo se dice? Una dirección de website para que vaya después, que se llama miplanlegal.com o protegemelegal.com. protegemelegal.com, para que puedan ver cómo pueden arreglar su crédito, cómo puedan proteger su crédito, su identidad. También vamos a poner otro website en español en las 2 semanas que vienen, para que puedan ir a ver con Neil, para que puedan verlo. Y el site de your site is in Spanish too, or not?
It is not.
It is not. We're
I'm
gonna
in
work
the
on that.
process
We're
of-
gonna work on that together, so that people know. That's great. And then, so eso es lo que estamos haciendo para ustedes, para nuestra gente. Estamos hablando de que la gente a veces usa el crédito de los menores, para que los menores puedan usar el crédito de otras personas. Yadira, ¿qué más tú puedes añadirle a esta sección? Mira, yo no estaba hablando el español, yo estoy hablando como gringo ahora, no sé por qué. I'm speaking Spanish like a gringo. That's because the last couple of weeks I haven't been. ¿Qué yo estoy diciendo?
Because you haven't been here.
Lo estoy aquí.
You haven't been practicing it.
No es que cogí esa clase de solamente en inglés, no en español.
También es muy importante siempre pues hacer un anuncio con la policía cuando siente que ha sido víctima de robo de identidad. Es muy importante hacerlo para que así se pueda proteger.
Sí, eso es verdad. So, Neil, let's,
Remember one thing, credit is sexy.
and you know what? El crédito es, ¿cómo se dice?
Sensual.
Sensual.
Gozado. Así que es sensual. Eso tú lo sabes, ¿verdad? Tú sin
I should
vergüenza.
say good
Todas esas cosas las sabes en español, pero las otras cosas que te pregunto no las sabes. Ok, sensual, el crédito lindo, el crédito bueno, el crédito de
Hace
750.
sentido.
good credit is sexy.
Yeah, and you know what? I talked before about energy. Everything is energy.
Mhm.
Everything is energy. Listen, having an 820 credit score is powerful.
Absolutely.
You know, I always say, it's God, your credit score in this country, my self-image,
Your
and
family.
and your family.
In
you
that
know.
order.
Yeah, somewhere up there. You're like, you know, I know everything comes out to God, but the
But
funny
it's-
thing is,
They say God, family, and money last. If you
Yeah.
provide, if you take care of the first one, you'll provide.
but you
the
know,
other two.
listen, listen, and my shout goes out to Eddie, Roman, de Toyota, que tienen que venir a hablar de aquí, de cómo hacer crédito. La próxima semana la de arriba viene a hablar de cómo afecta el crédito comprando carro. I have Eddie coming from the car dealership about how buying a vehicle can help you boost your credit and the different types of credit and how the rates work and stuff like that. And that goes in line with what you're saying. The funny thing is, I just upgraded my vehicle. I just got a Tacoma.
Congratulations, by the
Gracias.
way.
Está lindo, está afuera. ¿Lo viste?
Nice one, nice
Okay.
red one.
And the funny thing is this. What a blessing. Number one, a blessing to Toyota for being amazing. To my ex-partner who helped me a couple of years ago to get established, who I love. Another Miguel. I have so many Miguel. My brother's in Miguel. This Miguel. I think that's the only name I'll always remember, Miguel. So I walked in and just a signature. That's it. No money down. 0%.
Very nice.
And I was like, what a blessing. I remember my credit was in the 500s. You know, I had lost my credit, I went bankrupt, I've gone through that. And I realized that, how grateful I am to be able to have a few things I have in my life. Credit is everything, and that takes us to owning a property. It takes us to the health of being able to be a homeowner.
Absolutely, it opens up all kinds of doors.
This week, I am closing an emotional closing. Emotional. This is a single mom who I've known for a lot of years, and she has struggled for the last year and a half through a short sale. She went through this whole process, was not able to buy her home. We finally got the clear to close. The family from DR was able to send her the money. Her and her sister pulled together. She's getting a $116,000 home for less money that she's actually paying
Good
rent.
for her.
She has 2 kids. The kids fell in love with the home. I mean, it's been an emotional roller coaster. But it's amazing to be able to see that. And that's why we're here, guys. We're here.
Absolutely.
Estamos aquí, estamos hablando de una señora que yo quiero mucho. ¿Sabes quién eres, Amy? Que ha pasado por tanto, por 1 año y medio, para tratar de comprar tu propia casa, ser dueña de casa. Y gracias a Dios, y como decía la gente, a la Virgen, Antonio, yo soy católico, todo lo que hemos pasado. Tú sabes que la gente dice, ¿y la Virgen? Pues te dije a la Virgen. Todo lo que nosotros hemos pasado con esta situación para que ella tenga su propia casa. La importancia de tener buen crédito, la importancia de arreglar su crédito, la importancia de no dejar que le suceda algo, porque siempre cierro los ojos. La vida, tú sabes, el hispano espera hasta que tenga un choque para decir, ay,
Yeah.
necesito seguro de full cover.
Right.
Ay, muchacho, me pasó esto. People wait to the last minute until something happened and they say, can you fix it out? They didn't take the appropriate, I didn't know.
The steps.
I didn't know, Neil. You said to me that the first time we started working on credit, the first thing you did was you put a block. And people don't know they can do that. And you can do that for them.
Security freeze, fraud alert, either one.
And what about the other one where they don't call you and harass you for more credit?
Oh, you're talking about the opt-out screen,
And you did that too.
And the do not call.gov list.
Correct.
Yes.
So you can have peace of mind.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can go to sleep and relax and you don't have to worry about it. So,
Here's another good notation. That's something that I stay away from all the time.
43% of surveyed adults in the U.S. admit to shopping online over public Wi-Fi.
guilty.
Okay.
I
Amazon.
don't do
And
anything.
here's the
over
scary
public.
part. 1/3 of surveyed adults in the U.S. admit to sharing their account names and password with other people. Why would you do that?
I do.
Why would you do that?
Because my employees. I have to give it to my assistant, because if not, then what is he an assistant for?
But here's the thing. What I
I
found
know what
out.
you're saying though, because I feel the same
Yeah,
way
but you know
once
what,
it
Miguel?
happens.
I
Scary.
have this thing called RoboForm, and now RoboForm, they have it for business.
Mhm.
And you now can allocate certain passwords to certain employees, so you have a hierarchy. So if I have a team, and I love everything that we use for teams. We have Talu for teams, we have KW Media for teams, and so now you can actually allocate a hierarchy to Hayden and say, Hayden, this only you can go on this website, but you can't go on this site. And you can go on this one, but you can't go on that one. And RoboForm is one of the best. I don't know if you ever heard of RoboForm.
No.
RoboForm has the what they call like a NASA, whatever, double encrypted, blah blah blah. And so it's very hard to actually. Matter of fact, if you lose your master password,
No, that's okay. Like people say the
you
same
actually,
thing.
if you lose your master
That's a
password,
good
you
one.
actually lose your data because they will not give it to you.
Mhm.
That's how secure they are. They say the only thing you have to know by heart is your master password. If you don't have it, then you're done. So anyway,
One thing I want to make a quick note. I was reading my notes here. The FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, received over 133,000 credit card fraud reports, and yet 55,000 on phone and utilities fraud. 55,000 just in the year 2017. 55,000 people opened up cell phones, utilities.
Oh, that's somebody else.
55,000.
Listen, I went through this with my daughter. And she was 17 at the time, and I wish I would have let her gone through it because at the time I just panicked. She went to T-Mobile, and I love T-Mobile, so nothing against it. But she went to the independent party, and they opened up an account under my daughter's name at 17 years old. And she came home, she's like, "Look, Dad, I just got a new phone, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, there is no way you're getting a phone. It's illegal. You're not 18. So I had to call them, and they had to cancel the whole thing. And I found out later on that she was costing me more on the cell phone, so it would have been better. I was like, what the hell did I just do? I just self-mutilated myself here, you know? So, y esa es la cosa. Digo, nosotros tenemos que pensar. Estaba dando un chiste de cómo le pasó a la hija mía sobre coger un teléfono en una tienda de teléfono cuando era menor de edad. Tenemos que cuidar el crédito de nuestros hijos. Tenemos que cuidar el crédito de nosotros, tenemos que cuidar que los hijos de nosotros aprendan a usar el crédito seriamente, y eso es lo que estamos hablando ahora en el programa. What about children building credit? Let's talk about that for a minute, because a lot of times, so the horrible side is they can lose their identity, so what can we do to protect their credit, to make sure that nobody can use it, and to build it?
Well, starting at a young age, parents now being more educated now than ever in reference to identity theft. You can put a freeze, a security freeze on your children's credit report to protect them until they become of age.
So that now we're talking about a credit report that doesn't even yet exist.
That is correct, but the social security number still exists.
So basically you will call the bureau.
Correct.
Or go through you, and then they will actually build a blank profile that they can protect and build it as they go correctly.
Yeah, I have parents now that are very concerned. I don't have much of it going on, but from time to time they.
So let me ask you a question, Neil. Is that something that through our relationship and our show we can offer as a service to have parents come over their children and we can protect their children?
Absolutely. I don't charge anything for that. It's, just one phone call. I can even give the parents a telephone number of each credit bureau to be able to do that. Doesn't cost them anything to do it.
That's very helpful.
But we can do that. We can do that as a community thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you heard that. Lo voy a repetir en español. Oh no, hazme el favor, repítelo.
Un servicio para poder proteger pues el crédito de los niños, de nuestros hijos. Simplemente con comunicarse con él podrá
O con nosotros.
Podremos entonces dirigirlo en el camino correcto para poder ayudarlo con eso.
En cual estamos hablando de que los niños le protegeríamos el crédito para que no tengan la situación en que una persona le usa el crédito a sus hijos, especialmente cuando empiezan a entrar en la escuela superior o ya están a punto de ir al colegio y todo el mundo quiere usar el crédito de ellos, ya tienen 14 años, 12 años, pero es algo muy importante que nosotros aquí en el equipo de Bienes Raíces Con Sazon estamos dispuestos a coger nuestro tiempo, a darle algo para atrás a la comunidad y con los miembros de este equipo, los auspicios de este equipo y la cultura y el corazón de nosotros aquí en Bienes Raíces Sazon y New Styles Radio, les vamos a dar a ustedes la oportunidad que si tienen hijos y quieren proteger su crédito, que por favor nos llamen. Nos pueden llamar al show, nos pueden tirar por la página de Facebook, live, por donde sea. Pueden llamar aquí a la licenciada Yadira Colón, a la oficina de nosotros, que es el mismo número, que es el 610-435-1800. Pregunten por Jessy Roldán o Yadira Colón y nos pueden llamar y le ayudaremos para que tenga, con mucho gusto. Para eso es que estamos aquí, para que la comunidad entienda quién somos, lo que hacemos por ellos. What about veterans? Let's talk about veterans for a minute. The veterans, a lot of times they go to serve our country, and people use. I read an article that while they're fighting in the country, somebody else is using their credit.
Yeah, I personally haven't come across anybody using my services for that, but it does happen. It has happened. And it happens quite frequently, and that can really present a major problem.
Yeah, you come back, you want to use your VA benefits,
and I hate to say this, but a lot of times it's a spouse doing it.
Wow.
I wasn't gonna go there, but you know what? Yeah. That is true. That is true. Especially if she's not in the actual, if she hasn't gone with him, she stays behind. A lot of times, that
I
happens.
remember a case probably going back about 9, 10 years ago, a gentleman from Kansas went out there and ended up finding out it was his spouse, and he ended up getting a divorce.
Wow.
So,
And you know, we love veterans. Nosotros amamos a los
Absolutely.
veteranos. Lo mismo va, por eso,
Amen.
you know, and I really honestly, my heart goes out to the people that serve our country. The other day, I was at Chick-fil-A, yeah, the chicken place. And a gentleman asked for, I love Chick-fil-A. If you don't like
I
Chick-fil-A,
love Chick-fil-A.
Miguel, we're gonna have problems.
No, I love it.
You like
One of my favorite. Yeah.
Whoever doesn't like Chick-fil-A is a terrorist. Because seriously, because you know what? That's the best chicken. I don't care. I know I'm gonna get some bad reviews or something. I like Chick-fil-A. That's better than it's like it's pure, it's organic, there's no crap in it, and the service is amazing.
that's amazing.
That's true.
Listen,
Absolutely, best in the business.
you go there and they treat you so nice, and they give you lemonade with no sugar, with Splenda. I mean, just so, and the girls are dressed so. It's like you get that homey taste,
Yeah.
and I'm not just saying that because they're a Christian organization, but it's just they have this whole aura around them. You just feel really
They
nice.
know how to do it right.
They know how to do it right.
Hold on.
You know,
Did they pay for that
That's the
commercial?
business role model.
no, but I'm gonna go there and show it to them so we can get some free
Gift
Chick-fil-A.
cards.
That's what we're
That's
gonna
the
do.
business role model.
That's
right
business.
there.
Yeah, like, you
Top to
know,
bottom.
and that's what we are here.
Very
Listen,
clean too.
here at
Yep.
New Styles Radio, Bienes Raíces Con Sazon, that's what we're here for. We're here for the community. We want to give you the experience. It's not the Jesse experience, not the Yadira experience. It's the experience of us as a community, pulling together as Latinos, as business people, pulling together to be able to give you that flavor. So, here's the
Sorry,
fun.
I'm not involved in that.
So, you know, I lost my change of thought. I got into chicken and that was it.
You
That was-
We talked about
Game
chicken.
over.
That was the end of it. I was like, now all I'm thinking is, oh Lord, well, I can't wait to see.
Now we can finance you to get some good chicken.
Some good chicken, exactly. But now seriously, about veterans. So I'm at the Chick-fil-A, and this veteran says, did I get a discount? And the guy behind it gave him somewhat of a, now it wasn't condescending, it was kind of like, really? And I was like, listen, thank you for your service, I got your meal. And he's like, no, you don't have. I said, listen, it will be an honor, you fight for my freedom, it is an honor for me to pay for your meal. I said, I served as a police officer, and it'll be an honor. So I paid for that, and
That was very nice.
it made me feel so good inside.
Absolutely.
Listen, I would like to, even if I have to pay for it, if there's any veterans, si hay algunos veteranos que quieren que se le ayude con el crédito, the first month is on us. We will definitely do that to help you. The first month is on us. As a veteran, reach out to me, reach out to Yadira, reach out to the team, reach out to Miguel, reach out on the website. Listen, not only that, we will also give you a free warranty. We just partnered up with American Home Shield, and they love veterans too. So every home that's purchased through our team, we will give them a free home warranty. We will give them free credit repair for the first month. We will educate them. We'll give them a Shield membership to protect them. Listen, we love our veterans. We love any service members, any police officers, any EMS. Listen, we're gonna throw in there any teachers. Our teachers, man, they do so much for us.
They do.
And they're underpaid.
Absolutely.
I wish together we get paid the same that the football players get paid. I mean, the stuff you have to deal with, So that's out there. Reach out to us. We're here to help you.
One thing I want to add, Jesse, anybody comes to educate and restore credit, I will personally give any veteran 70% off.
Very nice.
Wow, that's powerful.
Thank you.
That is powerful. That is powerful. You know what? The reason why, and you and I believe a lot of the same values. We're here today because people fought for our freedoms. People don't realize how blessed we are to be in this nation. Your freedoms can be taken in 2 seconds. I mean, I seen it, just recently saw it. People lose their freedom for the stupidest thing. You have to work hard, you have to stay humble. You have to have an attitude of gratitude. You have to be grateful. Our lives could be changed overnight. My mother-in-law drove into a telephone pole, and the telephone pole fell into her vehicle. She ended up breaking her femur. Next thing you know, she ended up with cancer. She lasted 10 years, but she lived a very very, very not nice life in the end of her years, and it made me realize, life is short. You know, that's what we have. I don't want to take the show and turn it into a big president. Listen, this is really honestly, credit is something that's very important. If you're gonna buy a house, si va a comprar una casa, no espera hasta el último minuto, no espera hasta 2 semanas. We come across that, Yadira. I want to buy a house. When? Oh, mañana, tomorrow. I want to look. Listen, take 2-3 months before. Sit down with us. Sit down with the team. Sit down with Yadira. Sit down with me. Sit down with the whole entire team. Find out where we're going to be at next. A couple times a month, we are at different restaurants. We can meet you at Macho's. Macho's is a man. He has that drink today, $3. Macho is the official drink of the Bienes Raíces Con Sazon. We have the Sazon drink, which is $3. All you have to do is say, "Yo quiero Sazon," and then you get the Sazon. They already know it. Even the white girls say, "Oh, you want Sazon?" Yeah,
You got
Sazon.
issues.
And then they give you the Sazon for $3. So
One thing I think we talked about, Jesse, and we haven't gotten into it too much, but we're gonna develop and create some kind of a business seminar, business
Correct.
presentation where I did these back in the past, and I didn't get a chance to talk with you too much, but where we had a real estate company, a credit repair specialist, a mortgage lender, an insurance company,
Yep.
because and believe it or not, we even had a title.
yeah, and you'll love
Title
Mark
company, yeah.
Meoff, which is my insurance company. Plus, we also have Safeguard, who works with Kelvin's. So we can actually bring all these people together, and we already have
This
most
is
of
gonna
them,
be free, right? It's gonna be a free seminar that we're gonna be showing.
unless they want some Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay.
Then we're gonna charge them. I mean, but we may be able to get them to sponsor it. We may be able to get Chick-fil-A to sponsor it.
Bring in all the nuggets you can.
All the nuggets, yeah. You can live on nuggets. That should be a statement.
Those you
live
can.
on- You can live
Those
on
you
nuggets.
can.
Yeah, not the ones from that other guy that's with the M and they're like liquid and stuff.
No, we're not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
we're not saying anything.
But I think that presentation, when we finally get it together and have it finalized, I think it's gonna be incredible. Again, I did these many times down in Westchester, Chester County, and I'll tell you, you'd be surprised about the turnout because
They're very informative, and just like Jesse was saying, we need to be prepared for when we're finally there, at the place where we can make the purchase of a house.
And we're- and
Not
it's
wait
all-
for the last minute to then decide.
and it's all about teamwork, and that's what we're there for. We're all there to help one another, but the most important person is the consumer.
So now, in essence, how long in advance does a client needs to take the time to be able to start working on their credit? I mean, we're talking 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months?
It's all depends because there's no two credit reports alike.
Correct.
Sometimes if you have a married couple, one's better than the other. Especially if they've been at their job longer and they make more money. Of course, that's who they're gonna use more so on an application, so, but the benefit is to provide a valuable service that's gonna raise both credit scores. And who knows, I've done many couples where the low one ended up being the high one. They were neck and neck, but, the other one was up there by a couple points. But again, it's gonna depend on their job stability and anything like that.
Now, I've heard people say, if you, I don't know if this is a myth, you're the pro, you're the pro when it comes to this. I've heard people, if I apply for a credit card right now and I immediately apply for another one, it takes 24 hours, it's not gonna hit my credit as far as the credit points you lose. So if you apply for all your credit in one day, and you want 2-3 credit cards, so you want 2-3 things, that it's not gonna affect it. Is that a myth?
Are you talking about going for a mortgage at the time?
Well,
Or just
yeah,
in general?
Just in general.
Well, I always advise my clients that, once they get done completing our credit repair, if they're going for a mortgage, I tell them to hold off on anything they possibly want to do credit-wise as far as credit cards, store cards, gas cards. Now, with that being said, and I'm not a mortgage expert, but I know a lot of your mortgage companies want to see X amount of accounts. I think it's at least 2 or more that are at least open a year or two. That can change the whole process, because if you have somebody that comes to me and they don't have a credit card established, then, you're starting from square one where they have to get cards, but the thing is, though, you want to get the best cards out there available with either a low annual fee or, a rewards card, and how do you do that? You gotta have good credit to do that.
Now, we have clients, and we're gonna do a little bit of translating in a minute, but we have clients that have absolutely no credit. They have nothing. They're, especially our clientele, the Latino clientele, a lot of them just believe pay everything cash.
Correct.
Pay everything cash, they have
Right.
nothing, I mean, they'll go on and go to a buy here, pay here, or they'll go to a furniture place, but they absolutely have nothing to show on their credit.
That's
You look
where
at
an
the credit.
authorized user comes in.
Okay, so how do you provide that service to actually give them the consulting?
Well, I recommend, on what to do and how to do it. Matter of fact, I just did 2 people here in, Allentown, just recently. And my advice is, the authorized user is important, but it's also, you wanna have something that, is in your name only. And, if your credit is up to par, or you can get it to par with the authorization, there's no problem on getting your regular credit card approved. But the one thing you don't wanna do is you don't wanna apply for too much credit too soon. You wanna, let 2 months or 3 months go by. Especially if you get the authorized user on there first, then go for a credit card and wait for a couple of months and so on. Because they're gonna have to wait for that anyway to become a year or 2 years old, in order to be, in order to be, approved for a mortgage. One other thing too is you have these store merchandise credit cards out there that are very good. Finger Hut, I'm sure me and you talked about that before.
Finger Hut is probably one of the
Webbank,
best credit cards.
Geddington is another one.
Which one?
Geddington, Webbank Geddington, it's the
Oh,
same thing
Geddington.
as Finger Hut.
It's the same company, right?
Yeah, it is, but 2 different things, but you can get 2 different lines on there, so if you get
I
approved
see.
for 5 and 5, now all of a sudden.
The
you
other
have
one is,
$1,000 in
the other one
all
is,
your debt
oh
issue.
my goodness. Wards,
Correct, Montgomery Ward is,
Montgomery Wards.
they're really pushing out, pretty hard right now. I mean, I've seen in the last 6 months that, there's a lot more advertising on it. There's a lot of other ones on there, believe it or not, there's one out there, he's a $5,000 credit limit.
Really?
No fees or anything like that involved, and you can always give me a call for that information. I have probably 15 to 20 trade lines that I can get you approved for from anywhere from $400 to $1,000 without even doing an inquiry on your credit report.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Only,
And they only use the first,
Well,
the last 4 of your social.
okay, we got to do this.
Very
Estamos hablando,
interesting.
mire, esto es importante. Gracias a Dios y gracias a nuestro equipo que está creciendo aquí, con la licenciada Jessica Ortiz, con Yadira, con el licenciado mío, conmigo, y que vamos a nada, Dios mío, me voy a matar si no lo... y todas las otras gente que están aquí. María Mangual, Dios mío, tienes que venir para acá, María. Tenemos la posibilidad que si no tienes crédito, que si tienes un crédito sin nada adentro, que sea un crédito limpio, no estabilizado, se dice, estabilizado, sí, estabilizado. Podemos ayudarla a que pueda poner en su crédito de 10 a 20 líneas de crédito de $400 hasta $5,000, nada más usando los últimos 4 números de su seguro social, para que no se salga de la forma que en el crédito, no le dañe el crédito. And I believe we're talking about common.
That is correct. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them.
We have to trade secret, because I have a lot with community, like Big Less and stuff like that. And people don't realize, one of the little tricks, and we're not gonna let all the tricks out the bag, but one of the little tricks is, you know that every 3 months you can go hit it for a credit line increase without hitting any credit, and based on performance it goes up.
Yes.
I mean, my Uber stock went up to like $5,000. I just use it a little bit, pay it, and then hit it.
What's the number 1 trade line of that type, do you know?
Big Less?
Big Hut.
Really?
Big Hut's one of the largest trade line companies, because a lot of people who do not have credit will definitely get approved.
Second
Even
chance.
borderline credit, you'll get approved with Webbank, Geddington, Finger Hut.
And you know, they have a really good gimmick, because my wife has one. She's never used it for years. They say, we're about to close it if you don't use it. I said, honey, you have to use it. You gotta buy something. She said, I don't know what to buy. I said, I'll tell you what to buy. Buy me a pair of shoes. So she bought me a pair of shoes. It looks just like this one. Nice and round.
Paid it off, credit limit went up.
It went up.
Yeah.
It went up to $100.
That's
I was
right.
like, so I said, now you know the trick. You just keep buying me stuff.
That's
It's gonna
correct.
go up. And
Lots of little tricks.
And the most important thing on that, Jesse, is, here's good information for anybody out there who's listening. One thing is, if you decide to apply for any type of credit, whether it is a credit card, a store card, merchandise card, gas card, you must research that they get reported to all 3 credit bureaus.
that is absolutely correct. So I'm going to take just a minute to go over these questions, And then after I go over these questions, we're gonna give you some time, give Yadira some time. Tenemos, como dije, en nuestro website, miplanlegal.com y protegemelegal.com. Estas son las preguntas. Si tienes una última voluntad y testamento, sí o no. ¿Tu testamento ha sido actualizado el año pasado, sí o no? ¿Alguna vez has recibido una multa por exceso de velocidad de tráfico, sí o no? ¿Tienes un arma, sí o no? ¿Es dueño de negocio, sí o no? ¿Paga mensualmente por el seguro de auto o salud, sí o no? ¿Sabes que hay un faltante dentro de tu póliza de seguro de auto, sí o no? ¿Alguna vez un negocio lo ha tratado injustamente o lo han estafado, sí o no? ¿Alguna vez ha firmado un contrato, compra de automóvil, casa, teléfono celular, etcétera? Sí o no. ¿Conoces a alguien que haya sido víctima de robo de identidad? Sí o no. ¿Alguna vez has contratado a un abogado? Sí o no. ¿Cuál cree que está la tasa de promedio por hora del abogado en todo esto de los países? Estamos hablando de casi $200 por hora. Estas preguntas son las preguntas que usted debe hacerse antes de que haga una decisión si va a necesitar tener un plan de protección legalmente y de su identidad. Y para más información puede ir a www.miplanlegal.com o protegemelegal.com. Yo voy a poner estas preguntas después en el comentario del show para que la gente sepa, que no me llamen después o llamen a Yadira después y digan, ay, tengo una situación, me sucedió esto, me sucedió lo otro, perdí el crédito, no puse un lifeline, no puse esto. Mire, le estamos dando
Claro.
ciertas cosas aquí de gratis.
Y
Si
se
no los-
pueden preparar.
Exactamente, exactamente. So, como siempre, mi gente, no sé dónde se fue esta hora. Yo creo que es culpa de Miguel, pero no voy a decir quién es. O del pollo. Este es culpa de Chick-fil-A.
pollo.
Saben que vamos 10 minutos.
Se pone
También el
directo.
pollo. Entonces, Yadira, di lo que tenga que decir, amor, que te digo, sinceramente, tú no sabes. Sabiendo que tú viniste para acá y que te has cometido a estar aquí el año entero en este show, yo te no la cometí. No, ya no puedes decir. Si no dices
Ya no
no,
puedo decir
no
nada.
decir. La gente te quiere. Mira, la gente me dijeron el otro día, wow, toda esa gente tan bella. No dijeron nada de Jesse Roland, sino que la gente que viene a
No.
show está bien. Pero como quieras, este show es para la gente.
Claro.
Neon, you can call us today. You know, tell the people we have about 4 minutes left. Like the essence of identity theft, the essence of good credit, what they need to do, and all the stuff we're giving them for free for them to actually come and use us.
Well, one thing I want to start off to say, thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime, this is your show, you know that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, one thing that we do is, we don't force anybody into this, you know whether you need it or not. We always give a free consultation, we'll give you a free credit report. Credit reports that we pull don't affect your credit score whatsoever. And,
Oh, so you'll actually pull the credit
Yeah.
and give it to them for free?
yeah, for free.
So
Other
that-
services are usually
So that's like a $50 plus
Yeah.
the consultation, that's about $150 value.
Usually around $199.
$199,
Yeah.
wow, okay, no tienen excusa.
And that's completely free. And whether you use our services or not, there's no charge.
And no strings attached.
No strings attached.
Wow.
If you wanna check us out, you go to educaterestorecredit.com. I'm pretty much available up to 9:30 every night, which is probably uncommon in this
Not
business.
good.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
gonna get you early for that.
yeah. And I do take phone calls 7 days a week, I just don't perform any work on Sundays. Read our reviews, Facebook, Google reviews, 5-star reviews, all up and down. We've done some amazing things. One thing I'll guarantee, we'll work hard for you. Everybody's results are different because everybody's credit report's different. But one thing that I like, we do what we call a credit sweep, and that means everything from your names to your social security number to your AKAs, addresses, telephone numbers, accounts, and so on. Our services nobody usually uses no longer than 6 months. Everybody else is usually a year
Oh,
to
for
2
years. I mean, you know
sometimes 3 years.
you know the big L out
Yeah,
there. We're not gonna say who they are,
I won't say
but
who they are.
they'll actually do one at a time just to keep you on the stream for so many years.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've had many clients come to me and say they don't have that kind of time to wait.
I'm money.
And you gotta remember, it took years and years for your credit history to come along on your credit report.
Now,
Since you're
now,
18,
Neil,
it's not gonna come off in days or weeks.
Every time you come to the show, you need to learn a new Spanish word, and the one we're gonna start with is gózalo.
Go sell out.
There
Gózalo.
you go,
There
that's
you
go.
perfect.
Gózalo with the gózalo.
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 What's that up?
Gail Sala. So that's
Thank you,
that's
Gail. Thank you so
yeah,
much for
yeah,
all that
absolutely.
helpful
You're
information.
welcome.
Yeah. So, mi gente, han escuchado al tremendo, as we call him, the Nazi credit killer. He's killing them. He's killing them. There's no mercy on bad credit, right?
There is not.
There is no
Just
mercy.
remember one thing, if you look at the back of my business card, which I'm sure you've done,
Yeah.
have done, it says
Absolutely.
on the back, credit is a necessity, not a luxury.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
sure. Hey, mi gente, gócenlo hasta la semana que viene. Véanos por New Styles Radio. Como siempre, Miguel, gracias. Te lo agradezco mucho ser parte de aquí. Gócenlo, mi gente. Hasta la próxima.
Thank you.
Pick me up of life. Life.
Yo nunca trabajo con eso, papi, so yo no sé qué hacer. Tócalo y lo para o como. Porque está live. Ahora, ¿cómo lo paro? Yo tengo la mente.
And, you know, I hate to say this because, you know, the credit.
Valió la